Most of what you call peace is merely a period of low noise. And when the noise returns, as it always does, you discover you never truly owned peace at all. Here is the promise. In the next few minutes, you will learn how Stoicism, born in an age of exile, war, and plague, can become a practical shield for the modern mind. Not by numbing you, but by teaching you where your freedom actually lives. Hard truth. Life does not offer stability as a reward for good behavior. It offers weather. Some seasons are gentle, others tear roofs from houses. The Stoics did not build their philosophy for calm days. They built it for the day the letter arrives, the job ends, the diagnosis appears, the relationship fractures, the world tilts. Deep reflection. When chaos enters your life, it feels personal, as though reality has singled you out. Yet chaos is not a verdict. It is a condition of being alive. What makes it unbearable is not the event itself, but the story your mind adds in the first instant. This should not be happening. The Stoics quietly refused that sentence. They replaced it with something sterner and strangely comforting. This is happening. Now, what is mine to do? Practical example. You wake to a flood of alerts, markets falling, messages unanswered, a child sick, a meeting moved. Your pulse rises before your feet touch the floor. Stoicism begins here, not in a library. It asks for one small act of leadership over yourself. Separate what is yours from what is not. Your actions, your judgments, your choices of attention, these are yours. The weather of the world, the moods of other people, the outcome of today's meeting, these are not. Hard truth, you will never control enough to feel safe. The mind that seeks total control becomes anxious by design because reality is not built to obey. This is the first reversal. Safety is not achieved by expanding control. It is achieved by refining it. Deep reflection. Epictetus, a man once enslaved, spoke as if he were freer than most emperors. He drew a boundary that still cuts through modern anxiety like a clean blade. Some things are up to us and some things are not. When you confuse the two, you suffer twice, once from the event and again from the futile demand that it should have been different. Practical example, consider criticism. You can spend hours rehearsing the perfect reply, trying to manage how you are seen. Or you can do the difficult, liberating thing. Make your character your project, not your reputation. You cannot command admiration. You can choose honesty, patience, competence, and restraint. In time, the world may notice, or it may not. Either way, you remain intact. Hard truth, feelings do not prove facts. Fear is persuasive, but it is not prophetic. The next reversal, the mind does not merely endure chaos. It manufactures chaos when it treats every emotion as a report from reality. Deep reflection. The Stoics did not ask you to be made of stone. They asked you to become accurate. A surge of dread is a sensation, not a sentence. This is unbearable is not an observation. It is an interpretation. Between sensation and interpretation lies your slender space of freedom. Marcus Aurelius called it the ruling faculty, the part of you that can pause and decide what a thing means. Practical example. You feel a tightness in your chest before a difficult conversation. The modern instinct is to avoid, to delay, to distract. Stoicism suggests another move. Name what is happening without dramatizing it. My body is preparing for risk. Then choose your aim. Speak with clarity. Listen without defensiveness. Accept that you cannot control the other person's response. You step into the conversation not to win, but to act in accordance with your values. Hard truth, pain will visit you, and no philosophy can cancel it. But here's the reversal that saves many lives. Pain is not always the enemy. Resistance to pain is often the tyrant. Deep reflection. The Stoics were keen observers of the second arrow, the extra suffering added by rage, self-pity, and prediction. The first arrow is the injury, the loss, the discomfort. The second is the inner commentary. This ruins everything. To remove the second arrow is not to deny grief. It is to refuse unnecessary cruelty toward yourself. Practical example. You fail publicly. An error at work, a project that collapses, a goal you quietly hoped would redeem you. The mind wants a dramatic conclusion. I am finished. Stoicism offers a quieter dignity. I am learning. What is broken is the plan, not the person. The task becomes specific. Correct what you can, apologize where you must, accept the embarrassment as the cost of being visible in the world. If this way of thinking feels like a calm language your mind has been searching for, you're welcome to subscribe and leave a thoughtful comment about where chaos has tested you lately. Not to perform strength, just to name what you're practicing. We have reached a hinge in the journey. The first half is about drawing the boundary of control. The second half is about what to do with the uncontrollable once you have stopped wrestling it. Hard truth: you cannot build a meaningful life by waiting for circumstances to become convenient. The world does not clear a path for you. It offers a path and asks who you will be on it. The next reversal. Meaning is not found by escaping difficulty. It is forged by meeting it. Deep reflection. The Stoics spoke of virtue not as moral decoration, but as strength of soul. Courage, justice, temperance, wisdom, these are not ancient words for statues. They are the architecture of inner peace. When chaos grows, character becomes your shelter. Not because it protects you from loss, but because it prevents loss from corrupting you. Practical example. Imagine a week where everything feels unstable. A friend cancels in need. A colleague competes unfairly. The news is relentless. You cannot repair the world in 7 days, but you can choose one act each day that keeps your integrity whole. Tell the truth when it would be easier to soften it. Keep a promise that no one is monitoring. Refuse to pass along outrage you have not examined. These choices are small, but they accumulate into self-respect. Hard truth: time is not generous. You are not too busy to live wisely. You are simply spending your life in a way that makes wisdom feel optional. Here the reversal is severe. The future you are postponing peace for may never arrive. Deep reflection. Memento mori is not a morbid slogan. It is a clarifying light. To remember death is to remember proportion. Many of your daily emergencies are not truly urgent. They are merely loud. When you hold the finitude of your life in mind, you begin to treat attention as sacred. You stop giving your hours to what does not deserve them. Practical example. Before you check your phone in the morning, pause for 10 seconds and ask, if today were my last ordinary day, what would I refuse to do? Perhaps you would refuse to begin with comparison. Perhaps you would refuse to enter the day already angry. This is not grand heroism. It is a small act of stewardship over your consciousness. Hard truth: you will be misunderstood. Even your best choices can be interpreted as selfish, cold, or naive. The reversal: being seen correctly is not a right, it is a hope. Deep reflection. The Stoics trained for this by relocating their sense of worth, not into other people's approval, which is rented and volatile, but into their own rational conscience. Have I acted with reason? Have I acted with goodwill? If yes, they could endure misinterpretation without surrendering to it. Practical example. You set a boundary, decline an invitation, protect your schedule, stop rescuing someone who will not change. Someone calls you unkind. The old reflex is to explain yourself until you are exhausted. Stoic discipline suggests restraint. State your boundary once, kindly, and let discomfort remain. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your integrity is. Hard truth. The world you fear is often the world your mind rehearses. Anxiety is imagination without guidance. The final reversal: the same imagination that torments you can be trained to steady you. Deep reflection. The Stoics practiced negative visualization, not to become pessimistic, but to become prepared and grateful. To picture loss briefly is to loosen its power to shock you, and then, paradoxically, to return you to what is still here with a steadier tenderness. Practical example. You worry about losing your job, your health, your relationship. Instead of spiraling, you practice a disciplined rehearsal. If this happened, what would remain? What virtues would I need? What simple actions would I take in the first week? The mind calms when it sees a path. Then you return to the present and do the next right thing. Send the email, take the walk, have the honest talk, go to sleep. Chaos will not stop knocking, but it does not get to decide who answers. Stoicism is not a promise that you will never shake. It is the art of learning to shake without breaking, to feel without being ruled, to suffer without becoming cruel. So when the world becomes unrecognizable, do not ask it for certainty. Ask yourself for clarity. Build an inner citadel where your values live and let the storms find you there. Awake, unpanicked, and able. In chaotic times, the most radical refuge is not escape, but a mind that has learned what it cannot be taken from.